Hello, and welcome to another bluesy episode of the Helling Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by your musical engineer, Hollygeist. Um, we have another moment of silence to recognize tonight. My apologies, but it tends to be the way of the world. This one goes out to probably one of my top five, top 10 favorite guitar players of all time, Mr. Brian James, who was the original guitar player for English punk rock legends, The Damned. I love everything The Damned has ever done. I like their 90s stuff. I like the stuff in the 2000s, but it'll always be the original late 70s, early 80s Damned that is just the best. So we lost him this week, so let's go ahead and give this guy a moment of our silent respect. Okay. Mr. Brian James, you go ahead and you just take it easy up there in the cosmic heaven. You let us mortals down here take over reporting the history of the world. And while you're at there, try not to smash it up. Woo. Okay. So tonight, I thought I was getting back into my punk rock thing, and then I don't know. All of a sudden, I just want to hear these huge bands and these legendary artists, and I've been on this kick for a couple weeks, and I have no doubt next week will be the same thing. But tonight, I would like to talk about one of my favorite soul R&B blues artists. My man, brother Ray Charles. Ray Charles would come out of Albany, Georgia. And God, he had a very kind of sad life involving a lot of deaths and people having to take care of him and things like that. As a young child, he would by the age of 5 or 6 he would start going blind, and by the age of 7 he was totally blind, which is incredibly heartbreaking to me because I'd almost rather just be born that way than to have been able to see. And now I can't. I'm going to spend the rest of my life like that. Ray Charles wouldn't really get started musically until 19. I guess I'm going to go ahead and say somewhere around 1945. And he would continue to be just a driving pivotal force of genius until his passing in 2004. What can I say about Ray Charles? I mean, there's so many books. They made a wonderful movie about him, starring Jamie Foxx, which I strongly recommend seeing that movie if you've never seen it. It's an amazing movie. And I've never looked at Jamie Foxx the same way again after seeing his portrayal of Ray Charles. Uh, Ray Charles is well, again, he's best known for R&B, soul, blues, country. He's the first, I think he's the first mainstream black artist to be inducted into the Country Hall of Fame. I could be wrong on that. Um, as a child, after he went blind, his mother was going all out of the way to find somebody to educate him, and at the time, not a lot of black kids went to schools, especially in the great state of Georgia. But she found somebody who would teach him, and he spent his youth pretty much just studying music and Braille. He learned how to play the clarinet, the trumpet, the saxophone, and of course the piano, which is his musical drug of choice. People believe that glaucoma was the reason of his blindness. And after his mother died, and when he was 14, he quit school and just became a musician. Again, he wouldn't really get started until about 45, 44, 46, somewhere around there. When people call him a genius, I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, the man writes great songs. He plays great songs. His tone in his vocalization is perfect, absolutely perfect. It's right up there with the likes of Frank Sinatra. I've always thought that Little Richard had great tone in his vocals. It's just pitch perfect. He played all kinds of different music, and again, I don't really need to wax poetic on Ray Charles for very much longer. I mean, he's just an absolute legend. I personally prefer his blues over everything else that he does. This record here, Crying Time, this comes out in 1965, I believe. 64, 65, somewhere around there. And this is a record that he came out with where he's kind of trying to go back to his old days. He's trying to get away from a lot of the country stuff, and his fans wanted him to do, hey, we want to hear the old Ray Charles again. So this is what he puts out. There's not a lot of fast smoking boogie woogie on here, but there's a couple country songs. There's some blues songs, torch song, but this is a great record because this is just one of those sit back on the couch and chill out. This is one of my favorite Ray Charles records. So that's all I really have to say about the man. Again, if you're interested, there's a million documentaries, a great movie, a million books about the man. And let's check out one of his blues numbers. A tear fell
this morning as I thought of the good old days I've had. Somebody tell me, I've got to know, is this the end? 'Cause I've lost everything. I have no friend, but it's no use crying now. No use crying, no use crying. When I was young and things were going my way, had I thought of the future, I would not be in this shape today. Somebody please tell me, I've got to know, is this the end? 'Cause I've lost everything. I have no friend. I'm trying to tell you it's no use crying now. No use crying, no use crying. So people, don't be no sleeper. Take my advice. Opportunity never knocks twice. It's here today, tomorrow it's gone away, and then you've lost everything. And you have no friend, but it's no use crying now. No use crying, no use crying.
There you go. It's no use crying, my friend. No use. Especially when you get old and cold. Anyway, hope you liked it. I absolutely love Ray Charles, and when I think of the blues, Ray Charles is one of the first people that comes to my mind. I mean, right up there with B.B. King and Muddy Waters and Lightning Hopkins. I think I'm going to listen to the rest of that record tonight. It was a good one. Anyway, I hope you liked it. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and I will see you next week. Cheers.